for those that you can just slap it on, and something that you can just do this with. Like if you could just.
Your mic mitten's falling off.
My mic mitten. My mic has a mitten.
I always looked at him more like a condom.
That works too.
Yeah.
Cock mitten.
They call it like a foam sock. It's a sock.
Yep.
So I about the only preparation I did for the show is that last night I plugged in the camera and charged the first camera, and then came in here today and pretty much got ready. That was it. Like I got ready today. Didn't make a play. I have. So as we do our show every week and we compile a playlist, and I've got a bunch of playlists set up, and I just roll over tunes that don't make it into the next week and then recompile a playlist for the next week.
Right.
And so we're on one now that's got like 200 songs on it. So I just, but Bonanza.
Yep.
Do-do-do-do-do.
It's my intro music.
Wagon Train.
I always
yeah.
say that's gonna haunt my dreams because that's all I hear every once in a while. Continuous.
It seems like yeah, like from watching those old westerns or something,
Yep.
and I want to go on
It's
the
a wagon
Oregon
train.
Trail.
Yep.
Yeah. That we could play the Oregon Trail on the podcast someday. Oh boy.
We should bring a farm animal
Do-
in.
So the that's probably not a good idea. I played Oregon Trail in school a lot, actually, because I failed Washington State history 3 times. Like pretty much intentionally. Like
Right.
I just wasn't like buying it. But the Oregon Trail was the only thing that I got into during that. But even still, like I just remember not making it, like my party not making it so many times on the Oregon Trail. And like maybe I can't say really with any certainty about some of the details, but I feel like by the end of it I'm saying, no, you got to do this, and no one would listen to me. Like I've been through it. I know you've got to do these things, and they're just like, no, we're doing this. It's like you can't do that. You can't, like, because you can't. Like it was even more touchy in the old days than it is now.
They
Apparently,
gotta learn on their own.
yeah,
make
they
their own
do.
mistakes.
They do. But this is what you end up with the Donner Party because people don't listen to people, and then
That's
people
true.
get ate. Yeah,
That's true. But then they're like, oh man, I wish I should have listened to that guy.
yeah. Well,
Well,
history.
then it's too late though.
History's
Yeah.
chock full of these dudes who were like laid to waste on the Oregon Trail. You're like, yeah, they should have listened to the dude.
There's a bunch of people on Mount Everest too.
Yeah.
They're pre-warned.
No, they're frozen solid.
I know they were warned.
They,
that they
yeah,
could
you,
freeze.
you don't go up Everest without like a lot of like warning.
You have to
And-
sign contracts and everything.
Yeah.
Like your life is on the line when you go up those,
Oh yeah,
do those hikes.
I know.
Crazy. But at the same time, you only live once, so if that's how you're gonna go, that's how you can go. Right?
No.
Yep.
How live your life. I want to go zip lining when all this stuff is over with.
Zip lining would be, I would feel, a more practical, fun thing to do. That's like an adrenaline rush, right? Whereas, like, you know, it seems much safer than skydiving, although skydiving seems fairly safe. But
It's scary though.
yeah,
Oh.
like
That's scary.
um,
I would be scared at already going up on the plane
yeah.
and then being up that
Yeah.
high.
Then jumping
I'd
out of a
already be over
perfect-
it.
jumping out of a perfectly good airplane that's
Yeah.
not crashing.
But bungee jumping, I thought, is close to that. But the
Bungee jumping is harder on your body, I would think, because I've
yeah.
done that and it's pretty hard on your
Well, see, I
body.
think that jumping out of a plane then would probably be pretty hard on it too, because I mean, like especially the first
Well,
time or two.
Because the
boy,
only time that it would be hard on your body is when the parachute deploys, but the way you're already on your chest. So when you're in deploy, you're just like swinging really
yeah,
hard.
Yeah, but I
And
mean,
then you're landing.
just the pressure for like a couple of minutes of falling through the air, I think you're going to be
My
very
ears
sore
would
and
hurt.
exhausted by the time you get to the bottom.
I don't know, because I just know that with bungee jumping from experience,
Same thing, though. That's what I'm saying.
When you jump, that's not the problem. It's just that when you snap back up, and then you snap back up again, and then again, because you're bouncing. But with parachuting, it's just twice. It's just when the parachute deploys, and then when you land. Those are the physical parts. Other than that, it's like your whole body at the same time. So it's and you prep for this, so you're showed what's going to happen and stuff. So
I think I've said before that I wouldn't want to go. I just said ziplining again, but I think it's because I was laying flat and I was looking down and there was nothing under me. Like that whole feeling I didn't care for. The fastness of it didn't bother me. It was just that feeling. So I think if I ever did ziplining again, I'd want to sit, because sometimes you're able to like have like a sitting harness. I think I'd way rather do that and feel like I'm sitting on a chair rather than feel weightless like I did before.
They show this on Survivor all the time, and that's how they're always in chairs, I think.
Right.
Yeah, and because it feels like that's probably a much safer way to go. And they're also going through the jungle, which seems rad.
Right, and that's what I want to do, like go through some woods or go off a mountain or something crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, not on my stomach like that. That's creepy. Thank you.
Goodbye, gray sky, hello blue. There's nothing can hold me when I hold you. It feels so right, it can't be wrong. Rocking and rolling all week long. These days are all being free. These days are all.
So did we ever introduce ourselves?
No, we're not. We've only just been, doing the warm up part of it.
yeah,
Why does the warm-up always have the best conversations?
It doesn't always have the best conversation.
Always the best.
Because we got to get settled in and often find a little beat to then transition into the show.
That's true.
Yeah. It tends to work out pretty well. We I was talking a few minutes ago about how I don't prepare, and when I was not preparing today, I was thinking it's great, like how easy our show is to do. How we just don't need to do anything. And
yeah, you don't really have to prepare for it.
You know what? Like, if you want to prep for the show, listen to a Led Zeppelin album from 1973 and come in and talk about that Led Zeppelin album. You know what I did this weekend? Listen to Led Zeppelin fucking 2, like 3 different times. With headphones on, without headphones on, once on my computer. And it was all great. Every time it was great. It wasn't bad one time. Just like, spend a whole segment talking about that.
Yeah.
But we got lots of other stuff to talk about today because we watched Wonder Woman 1984. At least 2 of the 3 of us did.
Yeah.
And the whole world hates it.
Yeah.
And
I thought it was all right.
I did watch. I was a party pooper.
Actually,
Yeah.
I wouldn't
thought-
watch my shows.
that's okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, she's right. Actually, we should introduce the show. The show is the
Yeah.
MAWPCAST 1 radio program. We come here every week to play songs from the greater Tacoma area, Pierce County, and the surrounding region, things that are outside of this general, within the scene. Our music scene, that whole
Yes.
sphere of what it is. And it's a kind of a loosely defined thing. But we play songs from throughout all history from those bands that call this place home, or that we call them part of this place. Whatever.
Yeah.
Again, it's loose. It's all,
That stuff.
yeah. And
We're just chilling,
we're the hosts.
just like
Yes.
you guys.
We're the hosts of the show. I'm Potter.
I'm Soundman Chris.
I'm Ashley.
Our names are under there.
Yeah.
If you're watching, you can see our names right
Underneath
there right
us.
now. Yep, they'll fade away in a few minutes, and they won't be distracted by that.
Yep.
It is our New Year's Eve show. Yay! Happy New Year!
Yeah. Happy New Year! Yay!
Finally!
Woohoo!
Let's throw this year in the trash.
Yeah. Well, if this comes out on Friday, New Year's Day is Friday.
Is it?
So
Happy
yeah.
New Year!
So yeah. So Happy New Year's. New Year's Day. Woohoo!
Have fun, get drunk.
First
drive
day
safe,
of
have
2021.
That's my.
Hopefully it's better
campaign.
than the first day of 2020. We should just after New Year's, we should just skip over 2020 altogether because 2020 was not in any good vision whatsoever. I mean, there was some cool stuff that happened.
I had a great year.
yeah. But
I
yeah.
just had a great year. It's been tremendous.
Oh.
I can't complain. you know, so it was a good year for a lot of people. It could have been worse. It could have been way worse for you.
Oh, yeah, it could have been a lot worse.
You specifically, of all of us, did lose the club. You did lose a lot. Like, I'm not saying that it was great for you. I understand that. But I also see, like, a bright future ahead because things rebound. Like, music's going to rebound in a big way.
It will come back.
Yep.
Yeah. There will be so many people so anxious to play and so many good shows to come out of it, like good performances, good music. Like, it'll be, like, if you like live music and performances, boy, there's a golden age ahead of you.
It's like the new era,
Yeah.
you know? There's that every year, well,
Yep.
every 10 years or so, you get that change,
Yep.
kind of. It's probably going to be that big change.
Wow.
Brings everybody back. So,
I agree.
it's going to be cool when that happens.
It'd be marvelous.
I still hope that they bring back drive-in movie theaters.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's my goal.
That
for
would be
the future.
very cool.
Drive-in movie theaters and, hey, drive-in concerts, too.
Right?
Yeah.
I still think that that's a cool idea. That we shouldn't just toss that.
Yeah, not every show has to be the same or
Right.
done like they've always been done. And some large open air venues in general could happen in, like, seasonally, you know. This is very possible. Like, you could have a venue that is low maintenance and low cost, low overhead, whatever, and open air that is seasonal and subject to weather. Like, oh, sorry, show's rained out, can't do the show. You know, kind of even just if it's cost effective enough, then it doesn't matter unless you just get a whole year of darkness and rain. Which, you know, after 2020, you don't know what's coming.
Who knows?
Maybe yeah. So
Apparently, I don't know. It's like she's like 100-something years old, and she's been guessing the future for all of her life. And I don't remember her name, but apparently she's pretty accurate. But she said that a dragon was going to come in 2021.
A dragon?
A dragon.
probably a metaphor, but it could
Yeah.
be a real dragon. Who knows?
Who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah.
But we can sit on that. That
You know
the
what?
potential of a dragon might come.
What?
Godzilla.
It's possible.
Gojira.
Godzilla.
I like Godzilla. I have yet to see the Shin Godzilla, but there was a Godzilla that came out a few years ago that in Japan, a Japanese iteration of Godzilla from the traditional, and it's rad. Like, and I really want to see the entire thing. But it, you know, and rad is a subjective term because it's Godzilla, and Godzilla is inherently cheesy. So part of the charm of Godzilla, the Japanese Godzilla specifically, is that it's a little cheesy, it's a little whimsical. You know, It's not like they don't take things as seriously, but yet they react seriously. It's like you know, they have a cheesy guy in a suit, and like, oh my god. Oh.
Which was the one that we just saw in the theaters a couple years ago? Was that the newest one?
That was Godzilla, King of Monsters.
That in theaters was pretty cool.
That was
'Cause
pretty
I've never seen one in
badass.
theaters
Because they had
yet,
Mothra.
and
They had
that
all of
sound
them.
and that noise.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't see that,
It's
but
the best.
that I bet you it was.
That
It
was
the
cool.
Best.
Yeah, that's those monster movies, if they're done well, can be super fun. Yeah,
I guess they're coming out with Godzilla versus King Kong.
yeah, this has been in the works for a long time,
Yeah.
and this has all been part of an ongoing project for a while because they're trying to create
Right.
a monster universe, you know, of films. So it could be cool.
Cool.
Like you know, I haven't seen any of them yet. I should check them out, but kind of I was like things like this. I kind of wait for them to like. I didn't watch the Marvel movies right away. Didn't get into them. Wanted to let them, you know, get some legs under them, see where they went with the direction. Because, like with DC struggled and floundered throughout their entire run, and that's not uncommon with franchises. The Universal monster films that you've only seen like one or two of. The Mummy with Tom Cruise. I don't know if you've seen it, but this was supposed to be part of a Universal monster universe. Like they were going to have all the Frankenstein and the Wolfman and all of these monsters in their own shared universe with overlapping themes and characters and stuff. But it sucked. it didn't do well, and they put the
Well,
cart
put
before
Tom
the horse.
Cruise in there.
They tried.
They didn't have Brandon Fraser. They already had the Mummy out there.
Yeah, Brandon Fraser left Hollywood because of some incidents, I guess, that left him with a bad taste in his mouth. And so I don't know if he's coming back or if he does.
Didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
And but he is beloved in that role and that franchise with him in it, like, and was even more highly regarded after this Tom Cruise thing. Like after that came out, they're like, boy, don't we miss Brendan Fraser?
Right.
It really wasn't so bad either, and this is often how it goes. Like when Batman started to get cheesy in the 90s, I guess.
With the Penguin and
yeah. Well, after the Penguin, then it got even more cheesy. But right there with the Penguin.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Then it got really cheesy.
Yeah.
But
Iceman.
I didn't. I think I stopped watching those Batman movies after the Penguin, but in checking some of them out later, saw pieces of it like that. Even that Arnold Schwarzenegger one, it wasn't that bad.
Oh,
like it wasn't that bad.
It's I look at them, all of them. They're just stories, and they're just stories told by different people.
Well, and they're also silly comic book stories, so it's easy to get invested in them and think these epic things about them, and also be disappointed with some choices, which we'll get to later when we talk about Wonder Woman. But the stories themselves are comic book stories. They're comic book characters, or I mean, it's all pretend. It's all pretend.
Yes.
Everything about it is contingent on you pretending that you accept what's going on in front of you. You know, like when you're watching The Wizard of Oz, you don't say, "There's no way a tornado's taking that whole house away like that." You know?
Right.
Oh, I do that.
Well,
I do that type of shit all the time.
He does. He'll make comments
okay.
like that, but it's funny.
Well, so nonetheless, he accepts stories and enjoys them.
Yeah.
Enjoys them more than me, who does the same thing. But I'm like going, oh, that's a bad writing choice. There's no way that writer's what was that writer thinking, and how did the director allow that to happen? And then the actor never said anything. They just went along with it.
Right.
And some things I can't enjoy, and like I was only able to enjoy The Last Jedi. I don't know how I enjoyed The Last Jedi, honestly. I did enjoy it, though, but not as much as other stuff. And for me, that's the end. Like, because they kind of did things, they made choices with the direction of Star Wars and the story where they couldn't satisfy me anymore. Like, they've taken it in a direction that is so far away from what George Lucas's vision of this was that I don't enjoy it. Part of the only reason I enjoyed the prequels was because of George Lucas's vision within that structure. And at its best, Star Wars, when it was collaborative and there was that give and take between Lucas and other people and that fight between Lucas and other people, that's where Star Wars fires on all cylinders and works its best. When there's some sort of greater collaboration between Lucas and other artists. Like, throughout the prequels, you see George Lucas give up more and work with people more, and which is why each movie got better and better. But with The Phantom Menace, he was very, he held the reins tightly to the whole thing. But the other stuff that's not done by Lucas was not as focused. That's part of what they need, someone like a George Lucas there needs to be someone focusing everything. And J.J. Abrams wasn't that guy. J.J. Abrams stepped out of Star Wars after he did The Force Awakens, and he didn't want anything to do with it. They needed someone to oversee it. Not that he was necessarily the best person to do that, but if he was at least there throughout all three movies saying, yes, okay, do this, or don't do that, they needed someone to do that, because they took the second movie in a direction that undid what J.J. Abrams did. Like, it kind of contradicted stuff, and it went against the lore of Star Wars in a lot of ways. and then they forced the third Star Wars movie in that trilogy to make up for it and resolve everything. And it was too much to ask. It needed to be a cohesive vision from beginning to end. They needed to know where their story was going to end. And that's not easy to do. Knowing your story when you start, like how you're going to end it, like that's not always fun for everyone. Like when you're writing a story and you're making your own story and you want to end it, like it's not fun to end it first. You're taking the wind out of your sails to an extent when you do that. You want the journey to be part of it, the thing. At least from my perspective in writing a story, that's part of it. But then you may end up with an unsatisfying ending, or a wishy-washy story that goes all over the place because you're not focused. Yeah, you have to have a decisive ending, even if it's a very simple theme. But your theme needs to be kind of simple. It has to be a story that you can tell. Like, first, a story that you can tell in a few words. Oh, it's a story about a farm boy who gets caught up in this intergalactic intrigue and goes off to fight a war against the Galactic Empire. He is part of a rebellion. You know, that was a convoluted way of telling it, but it needs to be able to be told in some kind of way like that. Or a story about a farm boy, a retired military guy, and a truck driver who, like, you know, go on a story. So that's basically what it is.
That would be a fun story.
Now, Star Wars.
That's Star Wars.
Yep.
Yep.
I know,
You got,
but it would
you
be
got
fun
Ben,
in other
you got
situations. as well.
Obi-Wan, and you got Han Solo.
I
Yeah.
mean, like, if you literally just had, like, that as a New Age story, that'd be pretty fun.
Yeah. Well, they had Firefly, which was basically kind of the other cowboy space movie.
I've only heard great things about Firefly and Serenity,
Yep.
and I've not seen any of them.
Don't you own it?
I might even have it actually somewhere.
It's great. It's
Yeah.
so good. Yes, it's so good. I mean, they got cool ships. They got cool aliens. It's written well. There's really nothing cheesy about any of it, I don't think.
Yeah,
Cool.
like my uncle, who was a big Star Wars fan while he was alive. He loved Star Wars, the original trilogy that we grew up with, but then kind of didn't get into prequels. But during that time was when Serenity was going on, or whatever, or Firefly, whichever the series was. And yeah, he much preferred that to the modern Star Wars. And a lot of people do. They just revere it. It's got a big place in science fiction geekery and fandom.
Yep. It's time to play some music.
Yeah, and they'll come back and spoil Wonder Woman for the whole world.
All right, yeah, let's do
the whole
that.
world already knows. There's
Yeah.
such an outrage about it. I can't even believe it, like, honestly. Because I watched that movie, and I was like, it was a movie.
Yeah.
You know? So there's nothing to be mad about. But
I
fuck, are
think the
people
only
mad.
thing I didn't like was how it was streaming, because it was like it was distorting the picture every once in a while and stuff like that. But other than that,
I didn't notice it.
yeah, I thought it was cool.
Yep. Okay, let's see what we got today. Sharky Waters.
I'm gonna bring you happiness. I'm gonna give you fame. You're gonna be the biggest thing, and everyone will know your name. Hey, number one, you're as bright as the sun. You're like a god. Wherever you walk, people blush and talk. They wanna rock. secrets of my inner mind that I never wanna know. So I look up at the sky, I say, Lord, bring on the snow. I'm a dusty road with a heavy load. Now my boat's don't wanna move, and I'm pissed as hell as far as I can tell. It's got everything to do with you. Now I lean my life to the left or right with nothing left to show. So I look up at the sky, I say, Lord, bring on the snow.
From the Puget Sound, Hills of Darkness, J1 low, hitting up the 2 and the 3, 94 I'm out the dope, 95 I'm scot-free, checking the fat beat, checking the fat nine, meaning that I forget, but there's no forgetting the hilltop, my hood, yeah, I was born and raised in Tacoma City, oh what a pity, now that I'm getting paid, all of a sudden all my exes wanna get with me, but I don't see, cause when I was locked down, none of them came to see me, stressed out, messing around to the prison funk, but now they're worldwide, and you can change, cause I still suck, bump marks, left inside when I'm on the microphone, so, some advice, but I'm in the price, fool, I'll show, no, with the mass murder. Plated platinum, money went a fat ton. Rolling in the Lexus on Dayton's with a phantom. Top drop low, down with lazy Loke, and I'm kicking this shit, checking the grip, hitting the dips when I flow it, my devastating rapping. I'm letting up no slack, cause I'm deep when I speak, so no, there won't be none of that. Wacky tacky language, hit, have a dose of this real shit, it'll make you pop your head like an ostrich, flip like a dolphin, it'll make your brain spin. I'm rapping with the style that'll make you say, I gotta hit it again like rolling dice. I'm trucking it rich cause I can't be crapping out the gate, cause if I do, I get upset and stop the gaffling. Fools up with my 45 bag, I'm taking wicked pro, cause I freeze your dome. Sit your ass home in the casket, cause I get wicked, cause I'll freeze your bro. try to adapt to everything I'm saying. You're listening without missing a damn word. Every lyric book is held by me that you've heard in the past and in the future. And if you're stuck to me, looking funny, then I'ma have to execute ya. It don't make me nothing, take my gun and start to blasting. You done spit the ring, though I mean nobody's laughing. In fact, I'm quite serious, don't touch me if you want to. But even without a gun, J Money wanna still drop me. Think it back to the fat cat, as I remain stacking fat cats. And have all the homies in the hood saying, yeah, I like that. Funky shit, another hit, so once again it's on. Mr. J Money wanna quit the free show song. It's our free show song. I'm out to stack 1,000 that Benjamin Franklin's by preaching your dawn with some real conversation for that ass cash money. Yeah, that's my type of language. I speak it fluently, better than the average. Tampering with mine, chick, I'm up show low because my fingers always on the trigger, so you get smoked quick, fast, in a hurry, no mercy. But y'all don't hear me though. I'm putting in much work, but those tampering with my cash flow. From the 9-2, from the 9-5, I was locked down, feeling for freedom so I can represent the people sound. Red game, drop platinums in your eardrums, and just playing, never waiting. I'm making it happen. My stance sucker free. I'm knowing that I can't go wrong. The blue grown black man, fresh out of jail to preach it down. Yeah, cause I'll freeze your dome. Send you home in the cause I'll freeze your dome. Send you home in the cast. Cause I'll freeze your dome. Send you home in the casket. Cause you can't adapt to this inner city loop. Ace too straight.
I'm more anxious to forget it than I ever was to learn it. So I'm trading all these drinks for distorted memories. I push all of my thoughts on anyone I want and imagine who I want them to be until I start to believe that it's true. Facts are layered in the bullshit between photographs and trinkets. So I break through down this bulkhead to road them and forget. But a telephone call, a sentimental song, forces fragments to arrive like an old stained glass cathedral. Relive the past, we'll add little rabbits with glass panels. They change, image stays the same. If I trust my past, every memory that I've had, I must have faith in this cathedral. The church of nostalgia. I pay tithing to worship the untrue. Am I even who I am? Am I even who I am? Am I even who I am? Am I who I am? Light still filters through the artwork. It illuminates the hardwood where we stand in rows of pews and harmonize the tune as these intervals move. Stories become true, forcing fragments to arrive like an old stained glass cathedral. Cathedral.
That's professional to take a drink before I try and start talking so that I
We're back.
don't just choke. Yeah, we're back.
Hello.
We heard a few songs. We heard a song called Cathedral by a band called Oh Dear.
I like that one.
Oh dear! It's an exclamation at the end. Oh dear!
Oh dear.
Oh dear!
Oh, it's a deer.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
We heard
Oh dear.
Freeze Ya Dome
Oh.
by J1. Freeze Ya Dome. We heard Snow by Champagne Sunday. And we started it off with Ultra Mega Superstar by Sharky Waters.
Oh, I like that name.
Mm-hmm.
Sharky Waters.
They're ferocious.
All right,
Alright,
go
alright,
ahead and
alright.
tell the world about this movie.
So you didn't see the movie because
No, but you know, I
Yeah.
needed some. I only have a couple days off a week, so I try to take some time to watch my shows when I can.
no one's criticizing you.
Yeah.
I don't blame
No,
you.
I was just explaining that.
I would not necessarily have just popped on Wonder Woman 1984 and watched it. I've not seen any of the DC movies, any of them. So that was my first foray into DC universe at all.
Well,
I had no expectations. I had been somewhat spoiled probably on a lot of the stuff that was going into it because I don't care about spoilers and I like stories and I learn about the stuff. But I hadn't learned any of the people's opinions on things, just some of the stuff that was going to happen.
yeah.
I didn't mind it. Like,
Huh?
it.
I
Now,
liked it.
I had criticisms throughout it, like throughout. Like,
Oh, yeah.
But
Well, the only thing that kind of weirded me out throughout the entire thing was Mandalorian. The Mandalorian guy. That just totally weirded me out a little bit. But it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It was just kind of threw me off a little bit because that's who I was seeing, and I love the Mandalorian so much that yeah.
stuff like that usually doesn't bother me. I mean, it can, but yeah, I didn't mind so much. But so the plot of the movie is that Wonder Woman is now living in 1984. Now, the last time people had seen Wonder Woman, she was in World War One. But apparently now she's in present day, and she's just been missing Steve Trevor forever. Like, she's just so sad. She's so sad because she just misses Steve Trevor. But she's got on with her life somewhat, and she goes out to dinner alone, and she works at the Smithsonian Museum or whatever in Washington D.C. and she's in archaeology. She's doing all this stuff, and one day some woman gets hired who's a bit of a clumsy nerd girl, and this coincides with some artifact being brought in by the FBI that they need to investigate, that they want to know what it's all about. And Diana Prince, Wonder Woman, she can read ancient languages. So she reads that this thing is cursed by an ancient god or something like that. But nonetheless, it's supposed to grant wishes. And a man wishes for a cup of coffee, and he gets a cup of coffee just like that. So you know that it works, grants wishes. And so eventually, Diana wishes that she could have Steve Trevor back, and the nerd girl wishes that she could be super cool and sexy like Diana. And so
I didn't realize that she was getting Diana's superpowers as well.
the next day, the nerd girl wakes up and she doesn't feel right, so she takes her pants off, and now she feels right, and now she's a different person.
Yep.
And as soon as she takes her
So
pants off,
yep.
she's
The
good
pants
to go.
were making her
Yep.
ugly the entire time,
Yep.
and she didn't realize that until
Yeah,
that moment.
and people you know what? Coincidentally, as soon as she takes her pants off, everyone likes her more.
Yeah, that too. Yep.
Okay, that sounds pretty normal.
Yep. Meanwhile, Diana goes to a party, and she meets a dude who's not Steve Trevor, but Steve Trevor then inhabits his body. Poof. Like, all of a sudden, the man who she's looking at, who's the only attractive man in the party to Diana, and doesn't hit on her, all of a sudden becomes Steve Trevor. And she knows this because she can tell because she's a goddess. And now Steve Trevor's possessing some dude who's not him, but he's back. And Diana's like, okay, that's cool. Why not?
Why is Steve Trevor in there again? I forgot.
He's dead. He died in the first one.
He was the
Oh,
one that landed on the
yeah.
island
Yeah.
during World War
I
One
remember,
and
I
stuff.
And plus, he would be like 80 years old or something by now, or something.
That's true.
And So then this other guy who's on TV, he wants this magic rock that grants wishes. So he comes and tries to seduce the nerd girl, who's not a nerd anymore, Kristen Wiig. And then he gets this magic rock, and he basically
wishes to become the Rock.
Yeah. Which they could have done this a few different ways. What they do is they make him this granter of wishes. He wants the power of the Rock.
Power of the Rock.
He wants everything that the Rock is to be within him, so that he's that vessel. And this is kind of where the movie goes off the rails and where a lot of people lose it. One of the many reasons. But now he can ask someone, what do you wish for? And they can tell him what they wish for. And he's like, okay. And then what I get is like everything that you value. Like I get or what you're worth. And so, because that's what the stone does somehow, is that this curse makes it so that, you know, you get what you want, but at a price. It's the monkey's paw kind of scenario.
Yeah.
And so this guy goes around and starts absorbing power and things from everyone around the world, but creating chaos in the midst of it. It's like, and one of the many problems with the plot is that people are like, why doesn't Steve Trevor just come back? Because later on in the movie, he goes to Egypt or someplace, and he makes these people a deal. The good dude wishes for his country to be free of infidels and a sovereign country. So a wall gets built around his country. All of a sudden it appears out of nowhere. A wall, a physical wall. And then later at the very end of the movie, nuclear weapons appear and disappear later. And it's like, well, if real things can happen, why couldn't real Steve Trevor come back? So there's just kind of conflict with the idea of how the rules of this thing work. But for me, it was easy to suspend that because it's like the curse worked like it was inversely proportionate to your desire and greed. Like the more you were greedy and desired wrong things, the worse your consequences were going to be for your wish. Mm-hmm. And the harder it would be to get out of it, basically. So I didn't have a problem with that. It was a little chaotic, the tail end of the movie. And then my criticism with there was a fight scene that was too dark to see for a lot of people. Like they felt like it was deliberately too dark to mask some suspect CGI, maybe. But
really bad CGI.
It wasn't a horrible movie because it's a comic book movie, and you have to suspend your belief every time you watch something.
It's a story.
Yeah. Like in Star Trek, people are beamed up and beamed down in a way that is inconceivable to modern science. And people criticize they say Star Wars is science fantasy and Star Trek is science fiction, and it's based on reality. But there's fantasy elements in Star Trek too. It's part of the problem that they have so much with Star Trek Discovery right now is that it's fantasy. It's just straight off, way off into fantasy. They're like, that's not my Star Trek. We want hard science fiction. We want it rooted in fact and reality, and that's just not what it is now. You know.
Because I like the new Star Trek.
A lot of people do. I've not watched that. I don't know, but I mean, there's similar criticisms with that and Wonder Woman and intellectual properties in general across the board. It's not what I wanted. People just think it's not what I wanted, or I don't believe it's not believable enough for me. But you know, it's good enough. Like honestly, like if this Wonder Woman movie is one of the worst things, or just if it's something that people are like, it's not that bad. Basically, it's not that bad. Like, people shouldn't be so down on shit if that's like one of their bad things, really. Like, because there's way worse crap.
Are you gonna buy it, Chris?
What?
Are you gonna buy it?
Yep.
Okay, I'll watch it then. Then I'll give my opinion.
Yeah, like, okay, there's so like, especially when we're looking at like, okay, it could have been better and they could have done more with it, but another really good way of looking at it is that the DC stuff is all multiverse stuff now. Like they can go to there's different parallel dimensions. They've established this. So every DC story can be taken as that now. This isn't necessarily the same Wonder Woman from the last story. It might have some commonality, some threads, some things could be the same in their story, but it could be a Wonder Woman from Earth 66 or Earth 77 or Earth 652. We don't know. Because I don't know now I could be conflating the Marvel and the DC ways of doing it, but I know that there's like a lot of different Earths in DC. And that's what Crisis on Infinite Earths in the Flash story is about, which might be the Flash story that comes out. They're making a Flash movie, and they're still going forward with it. The different
Not
Flash.
that Flash.
The super fast Flash.
Yeah.
He's pretty cool.
Yeah, not Flash.
The Flash stories that are the big Flash stories and the big Green Lantern stories are really good. There's some really good ones, and so they could be done really well if in the right hands. If they were doing these things as well as Marvel. And those would be the ones that would probably get me more into the DC universe, because that's kind of what got me into Marvel too. They were going with their B characters. Iron Man and the lesser characters weren't the stuff that I've been bombarded with my whole life. and by doing that and doing them well, they really got me invested in all the other characters and rekindled my love for things like the Hulk and Spider-Man. So DC could do that too by giving me good Green Lantern and good Flash movies. Then maybe I would like their Superman and Batman better, because I don't give a shit about so much of their stuff anymore. Like, it's just not. I honestly like a brighter, happier universe for those superheroes. Like the Superman of the 70s really encapsulated Superman well. Those Christopher Reeve Superman, I felt like that was good, and that was one of the things that I felt was there in that Wonder Woman movie. It was very Superman-esque. It was very in that vein of a very light-hearted superhero movie, which is what I kind of want from those movies, from those DC characters. People complain that Wonder Woman, like, at one point was broke down and crying. It was like she just wants Steve Trevor back, which is a criticism, like that she's this goddess and she's this beautiful, like, empowered woman who just wants one thing to go right for her in her life, and to be able to have this one thing that she wants. That's Steve Trevor. And they're like, get a grip. You can have anything you want, get over it. Which I can understand, but also, goddess or not, these gods are made in story and everything to be humanesque, to have human faults. Even the Greek gods, like, they were made to, like, have human faults so that we could relate to them somehow. Like, that's how they, I don't know, it's just how they function. So I didn't think that didn't work. I thought it's an interesting way to see that, like, even people who are supposed to be, like, super in all kinds of ways can be subject to some sort of corruption, like by being tempted by something. I don't know. Just a thought. It wasn't that bad of a movie. People should get over it.
They should.
Like, after being cooped up for this long, they're going to bitch about something that isn't.
I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
Personally, I liked it.
People always have a hard time with, like, watching one, and the first one was outstanding. Like,
Yeah.
if you haven't seen the first one was just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
All the way through the first Wonder Woman the newest first one that just came out.
Yeah.
That one was awesome. And they put in a lot of work, and it worked out well. Good story. Everything was great. So it's hard when you have such a perfect movie and you're trying to make a second one following the story. How are you going to compare and compete to the very first one?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's always hard. And there's always going to be that comparison.
Well, because it's so good, that does make it difficult to follow it. And because it's so good, we do often expect an epic to follow. Like, that's what they've established. We should be getting epic after epic. But, like, some of these were made to be serialized just stories. Like, they're just supposed to be telling you stories that, like, if you're reading comics like that, they're just stories.
After story.
And
there really is. It's following a timeline, but not, like,
very loosely.
Not precisely, very loosely.
Another criticism has to do with all of these people in the world having wishes and this chaos ensuing, and then afterwards, everyone seemed to remember everything, right? And there's two things I thought of in relation to that is that, okay, so, again, we go back to it's a different universe thing. That's why maybe people in the modern Batman and Superman movies don't know these things happen, because maybe they didn't happen in the same universe, same world. Could have been a different parallel world. All right. And I had another good point there. It has to do with that. I don't know if I remember it, though. I have to sit and think for a second.
It's time for you to have a bong hit.
Maybe. You're nursing that, though, and I'm not trying to
No,
rush
I'm
you.
almost done now. It's actually, I'm just dusting it right now. So.
No. But yeah, it wasn't bad. I would give it, 3.5 stars out of 5. I mean, that doesn't
That's fair.
sound like a
That's
horrible rating.
fair.
But again, yeah, I don't know what I'm comparing that to, though. I don't know. It was not
Other
a bad movie.
movies?
I guess it was a 2.5-hour movie, right?
It was so long. I watched 2 episodes of my 45-minute show, and I was thinking, oh, okay, they're probably almost about over with the movie. I watched another episode, and you guys were still watching the movie. Holy crap.
So I didn't feel like it was that long.
Yeah, neither did I.
And I don't even know why. I don't get it. I just
Sometimes when you're watching a movie that happens, but I'm very
Because it was good, I
I'm
thought.
very picky on how long movies take. I don't like a long movie.
No, I don't really either.
I just don't. I want it to be about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes tops. That's about a good movie for me. When you're going into 2 hours and stuff, you're pushing it. You can cut some stuff out.
Kristen Wiig technically got 2 wishes too, and that was kind of bullshit. Just
She
saying.
got 2.
Yeah, you're only supposed to get 1. She broke the fucking rules.
How'd she get 2?
Because when she was on the plane, towards the end, she's on the plane with dude, and she's like, and the dude's feeling, it's like, I'm feeling generous, and she's like, I want to be an apex predator, that whole thing, and then she just gets to level up basically. She gets another wish. She gets to be even more badass, and that's how she gets the tail.
Oh, yeah, she gets all weird. Turns into like a cheetah girl.
Yep.
Cheetah girl.
I feel like we should go back to songs. We talked about that for a long time. So,
All right.
hear more songs.
Music! Happy New Year! Woohoo!
Ooh, 2021. Where's my flying car, America?
Yeah, you'll be lucky if you get $600, sister.
I know.
I know. You'll be lucky.
I gotta go now. Go ahead. I don't need to slow down. Go ahead. I gotta go now. Go ahead. I don't need to slow down. Go ahead. And now I'm stupid. I don't know what's going
sun, seen the lost. We've been over this before. The party bus came and went. They've already shut the door. Against the wall, get off the bus and face the wall. I was supposed to know where I am, but I don't. This ride's no fun. I can't look, I can't run. You bang your head against the wall. Get off the bus, face the wall. Face the wall. I was supposed to know where I am, but I don't. But I don't. This ride's no fun. I can't look, I can't run. I can't run. You bang your head against the wall. Get off the bus and face the ball. Face the ball.
I saw a man standing in the trees. The winter killed him like it's killing I found a hatchet waiting by the door. The hand that wields it is the hand that goes to war.
streets of the south side of T-Town. Daily on my grind, figure out how to dump a pound. I keep my Nikes tight, these niggas don't play around. I hit the fences if I got you when it's going down. Hating ass niggas, they be trying to blaze that 4 pound. Me, I'm just trying to hustle off a 4 pound. Young Willie Will, I got a chilly chill. Hustle game in my veins, keep it really real. Gotta keep focused, gotta keep my mind on the mill. It's like I'm pimping down south, like a nigga with the grill. Homie, my game tight, niggas can't play me. Cash that money out, homie, pay me. I'll have you slumped over your steering column in that daydream. The girl blow my cell up, the bitch is fucking crazy. Catch her by the throat and she say she wanna give me money, I'm the payee. Deep throating sex all day, it don't faze me. Light skinned nigga with that pimp walk, baby. Getting your dick sucked by 2 chicks, it's amazing. Bust a couple nuts, light that joint and then I'm blazing. That dick in her mouth is what she's craving. I don't like cuts, nigga, not even shaving. Fuck blood, that dirty water shit is what I bathed in. Welfare section 8, drugs is what I was raised in. Money and success right now is what I'm tasting. Not my rap game, but your girl says I'm amazing. Willie Will, street music records, what they fiending. Got your girl rolling along my dick is what she's cleaning. Open your ears, open your eyes, I'm gonna give you the meaning of a natural born hustler on his grown man G shit. Street music records in the game now, so peep this. Just like Smokey, I keep weeded. Keep the music dope fiends needing. Real music for their ears, cause they be bleeding. Just like my 18 cuts when I was speeding. Out of control when I be drinking. Like what the fuck you be thinking? Born with them drugs in my veins, so I'm deep in. At the end of last week and back the next weekend. That's why they listen up now when I'm speaking. Keep them girls dick drunk just like they need it. Like I'm the only suave dude they can be with. Like I'm the chick, but I don't give a fuck, I'm pussy beating. Money fiending. Heat up in the dash, locked and loaded when I'm creeping. Hustle till I die, it's my calling, it's my beacon. 18 cuts, I can see it when I'm sleeping. God on my side and my back until I see him. No. Willie Will.
You gonna fuck around out there in the streets till you get killed? Like your cousin, maybe?
What's that, sir? So what you trying to say, Mr. Butler?
Whatever changes you have to make, then you just do it. You gotta think about your life. Being a black man in America isn't easy. The hunt is on. And you're the prey. All I'm saying is, survive.
We're back from another exciting set of songs.
We're back.
Can't Play Me by Willie Will.
Really will.
Yep. Winter. The Whole Bolivian Army.
Yes.
Heard Party Bus. Not from Brooklyn. And I Gotta Go Now by the fucking Eagles.
I gotta go right now.
Should have played that last, and then because that would have made more sense. But because we don't gotta go now, we're only just really getting started. Well, we're halfway through. We're not. None of these things are true that I'm saying. Whoa!
What's going on? Wow.
Sorry.
Scared me.
Yep.
I was going into the Twilight Zone or something. So it looks like the entire Ravens team has fallen under the plague, and they're all gonna die.
Yeah. Now, who did they play this coming week? No, none of them are gonna die. We don't want any of them to die from the COVID, but apparently, there are a bunch of them who are
23.
There was a bunch of people from the Cleveland this week who had a tragic loss to the Jets. But I got to say, so I'm really rooting for this Cleveland team, and they're doing great. They did have a lot of people out during the last week, and I'm no fan of the Jets, but I do kind of root for them as an underdog. And and I cannot stand their coach, Gase, who was the coach of Miami, I think, before this or something. And he's just not been great. He's not had great success. But here we are at the end of the season, and this team who's just been horrible and falling apart has now beat a couple of good teams. And so I just got to, like, reevaluate some things with the Jets and, like, see where I'm at with them. But I'm happy to see them win. I'm happy to see, even against the Browns, who I didn't want to lose. I really wanted them to win out, but they didn't. And
the Jets needed at least one win.
Well, they got two now. I've not ever been a fan of the Dolphins at all. Cannot stand the Dolphins, but they have somehow won my heart with their comeback underdog story, where they're doing so well in that division with the Bills. They're right behind the Bills. They're doing pretty good. They won yesterday. I didn't want them to beat the Raiders, but I wasn't upset that they beat the Raiders. Like, I mean, the Raiders, they are what they are. There's just nothing you can do about that.
Yeah.
So the Ravens, who did the Ravens play next? Steelers? Or no, the Browns play the Steelers next. So the Ravens probably play Bengals or something, huh?
Well, that's if they're playing at all. They might not play at all. I mean, if 23 of them have COVID, they may be done for the season.
No, they're playing the playoffs, right?
Oh, not if they all have that.
I guess they could forfeit.
That's what they would have to do, I would think. Oh, wait, Baltimore Ravens, January 3rd against the Bengals.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
And it's saying updating. So that may be changing.
We'll see. The NFL has been a juggernaut. Like, first the NBA, they got through their season. And the NFL has plunged forward through their season. So, like, they got billions of dollars to make. They are probably not going to stop for anything.
Well, yeah, they're losing so much money from all these games and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, nobody being in the stadium.
They're losing some revenue for sure. But they've also got, like, they make a lot from TV revenue and will continue to. Like, they're not going nowhere.
No,
they can
have a lot of money.
Yeah, they'll exist without fans, and the players will take the first hit, like, before the owners and everyone else does.
Who do we play next?
Is it the Cardinals?
The 49ers.
49ers, yeah.
On the 3rd.
Ooh, that's going to be a good one.
Yeah, we'll be playing them in Phoenix because they are not playing in their stadium because of COVID issues. So they're playing in Phoenix, and it will be probably good for us because we play well there, from what I hear.
Right.
Yeah, we're 4-3 when we're away, and San Francisco is 1-6. So they're not looking good on the away.
And so our game was pretty good yesterday. The Seahawks and the Rams. Yeah, it was a really, really good win for us in our division. And we looked good.
And it was a game. It was actually a good game on both sides. That's what I like.
Yeah, exactly. It was. It was like, it was good to see us do that well in a competitive game. Yeah.
I like when it's fair.
Yeah.
I hate when it's
our defense was on point.
A lot of the season has been like this. And again, that's why, like, it's not been the highest caliber football all the way around, but it's been competitive all the way around. And it's just so much more fun to watch and just follow in general. I've enjoyed this season more than a lot in a long time. Probably as much I've enjoyed the season as much as when we went to the Super Bowl those 2 years. Like, it's been that good of a season. And I don't expect us to necessarily go to the Super Bowl this year. It's possible, though. Like, it is totally possible. It's probably going to be like Kansas City and the Green Bay or something, but who knows? Never know.
I hope so.
It'd be fun.
I always like that. It's fun when your state gets to go.
It's so hard not to party. Boy, it'd be like like people would just get a little too excited, and it's just I don't want to say we don't necessarily need that, Like the spirit of things and what it does for the region is always great, but yeah, I don't know. It'll be tough though. There's some tough teams to go against. Well, we'll see. Is that all your football analysis, Chris?
Yeah.
I'm wearing my sweater right now. This is actually this sweater was bought while I still had my other sweater. Oh wow. I've not wore it obviously as much as I wore my old sweaters, but I bought 2 sweaters then. So when I had my old sweater back in the late 90s and I was shopping around and retiring it, I had like as many as 3 that were tentative replacements for its basic purpose.
Yeah,
just
replacement of the power switch.
Yeah, it's just a layer of clothing is all it serves a purpose as. Mm-hmm. And I had a better one that it was like a thick brown like felted sweater. Like it was just like really cozy, and I think it had buttons and maybe pockets, and it was just very woolly and fuzzy and cool. But a girlfriend of mine took it back to New York when she went and never saw that again. That was the better one of the ones that I'd settled on. Yeah, but it did look really good on her, and I couldn't no, I need that back. I was like, you can have it. But this one was the one that I ended up with, the default one, because the other one was sort of similar to the one that I was replacing, but it just wasn't the same, and I didn't really want to replace it like visually. So, but this one is the one that just ended up there, and it's starting to fall apart now. Like it's starting to come apart at the cuffs, and like
it kind of looks like it's on purpose, though.
Yeah, well, and I do this, and which is cool. But if you're just listening, what I mean by this is I put my thumbs through the holes because I forget that we're an audio podcast, and most of our listeners are audio listeners. But yeah, it's inevitably going to have to go. Like because what's going to happen is like it's going to get worse, and if I start patching it up, then when does that stop? So I'm just going to have to get something new now. Yeah. I have to move on from it.
Time to say goodbye.
Yeah, I'm bad about that with clothes though. In thinking about that, just going over things, I do keep things for years and years until they're just threads, till they're falling off me. Yeah. And
those to me are summer clothes.
Yeah.
I have winter clothes that have less holes in them and they're more together, and then I have my shredded stuff that from high school that I still wear to this day. That's summer clothes.
See, my shredded stuff like just falls apart until like my genitals are hanging out of it, or like my feet are walked right through it, and there's no soles left on the shoes. And like,
well, shoes are different. I have to have.
Well, you do, but
shoes.
I don't.
I have to have good shoes.
I don't.
But other than that, I usually would,
He got a lot of clothes for Christmas.
That's good.
I got 2. I don't need clothes for probably another decade.
That's good
at this point. So.
Yeah. I'm pretty stocked up on some clothes now too. Actually, I kind of cleaned up. So
I know you got pajamas. We should all wear our Christmas pajamas.
I did think about that, but yeah, I was wearing them this morning.
Well, now we have all these pairs of the same pajamas. We don't know what to do with.
Yeah,
we'll have to have a theme show.
Pajama party.
Yeah.
Maybe I could bring my my fire pit. My gas fire pit, and it's fired up just long enough to get like 30 seconds of something and then turn it off, because I'm sure you can have it on because it's gas.
So could probably I'm trying to visualize my video editor right now, and I'm trying to think of a way how I could film that. Like, say you brought it in here and you filmed it for a few minutes. Like just set up the room just like we are, exactly like you are, like there is right now, and you set it on the table, for instance, right? And then we all stepped aside, but you lit it on fire, and then we film it on fire in this setting, exactly like the setting looks, because this setting's not changing except for that fire. And then you could take that and then superimpose that video on a loop over us. sitting here, and we can just go and do our show.
So there's a fire going the whole time.
That'd be kind of cool.
That could be done. I don't know exactly how to finagle it. I know how to fade videos and stuff, but I don't know how I would do that. That could also be achieved, obviously, through green screen, much easier. I don't know if you saw the way that they filmed The Mandalorian. Like, it's fucking rad.
Yeah, it's
like,
awesome.
They got this little fucking round booth thing that they project. It's a high definition digital background. Like, so they're not filming against green screen. They're filming against video footage. So, and it's really far out and beautiful to look at. And I was like, oh, that's just great. Just imagine having that in here, and you can just go anywhere. It's like, oh, now we're in Egypt.
Yep.
Like, really in Egypt. Oh, yeah, it's great.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
We got to do that.
Dude, your fire thing got me thinking
Future
of things.
podcast goals.
Yeah.
Where are you going?
I'm going to ride over here for a minute. Get a thing.
All
Do
right.
a thing. Do a thing.
Potter's going over there to get a thing. Oh, spray bottle of thing. Uh-oh.
I'm wanting to see what this would look like on camera, so now we're going to find out.
All right.
Oh, jeez.
Uh-oh.
Here we go.
Oh, it's
Experiments
alcohol.
making me nervous. Oh!
Whoa.
Oh, that's badass.
That should look great on camera.
Oh, that was cool.
You know what would be cool? You know what's cooler? Spray a bunch of that onto a drum head, light it, and poof, hit the drum head, and go poof.
That could be cool, too.
Jason Van Ness does that all the time.
We're not doing that
That's
in here,
awesome.
though.
No.
Yeah. You can do that at your club. Not here,
Oh, we
pal.
don't do it at my club. Fuck that.
All right. For those listening at home, and you're just listening, you missed fireballs. You might have heard a little poof.
Yeah,
I made,
that's what was so awesome.
I made some fireballs. You'll check us out on YouTube.
I
If
know
you're just
that.
listening, we are on YouTube. 'Cause
Yeah.
Most of our listeners are listeners. They're not
Yeah.
viewers. But we have a YouTube that we'd love to bolster up our YouTube and have viewers also.
So like, subscribe, comment.
That's right.
Do
All those things.
No, give us fashion advice. Whatever. Do what you gotta do. You could get the ladies could get your makeup ideas. Every week. Ashlee's got a different makeup going on. You can check it out and get your makeup ideas.
How funny would that be if we were sitting here playing video games and she could give makeup tutorials while we're doing all this stuff?
We'll do that.
Because we'll see, and we could do the mukbang. We could do all the things. Like, combine them all at once. Like, the things that everyone else does, like individually. It's like why?
We can do all three.
Why go to all these different channels when you could go to one place for everything?
And we'll do a fondue fountain too at the same time.
Chocolate fountain.
No, cheese.
Both.
Gotta do with cheese.
You gotta have both.
All right, both. We'll have both.
Yeah, because you gotta get the cheese cube.
I think
and
in
do
the
chocolate.
And we'll do whippets at the same time.
in the current COVID climate, that's a tongue twister.
COVID climate.
I don't think that fountain type of things are.
Yeah, but it's hot. Wouldn't that kill the bacteria or like that?
Well, just don't be, just do it once. Go,
Well, maybe we could get miniature ones. We could all have our own.
So many people you have to trust in those situations. Like, I mean, I guess if you knew that you could trust every person in that situation.
Yeah.
Us three.
Yeah, we could probably do
That's it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't share with like 10 people.
Yeah.
No.
It's true.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'm like, that's a lot of cheese or chocolate to consume for 3 people.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Maybe they make mini ones.
Mini ones, okay.
Yeah, they make
Maybe you
mini
could
ones.
make a
We
mini
could all
one.
have our own.
We'll make a mini fondue day.
Yeah.
You could make a mini one. You could probably
And then
come up with something.
mini fondue day, which Ashlee will be giving makeup tutorials. We'll be playing Halo, and what was the other one?
Mukbang.
That was the food
What's
thing.
that?
though.
Yeah, eat. Where you
I
eat.
could make my
Oh
charcuterie
yeah.
board.
We'll be doing fondue. So yeah, it's all right. We'll do all that.
What is the word you call it?
Charcuterie?
Yeah.
I call it a coot coot.
I call it a cooter plate.
Cootery plate. Cootery plate.
Cooter plate. That's what I call
Cooter
it.
plate.
That's what
Cooter
I
plate.
heard and what I called it because I didn't get it right.
That's a cooter plate. Yeah, if I ever saw one, that's a cooter plate.
Well, everyone always asks me, and they always say charcuterie.
It's cooter.
Cool.
Cooter plate. Got
Yeah.
cheese.
Charcuterie.
Cheese and meat. Crackers. No pickles, though. Keep the fucking pickles off. Fuck.
Pickles are fine.
No.
They're,
Put
like,
them in a separate dish so the juices don't get all over the soak up in the crackers. Crackers are bad.
that could be a problem. I didn't get in. That didn't happen to me. I got all my crackers were dry.
I'm glad that your crackers were dry.
Yeah, I got
had to put
several
vegetables
tainted
on the plate.
several tainted crackers, and it was quite upsetting.
Chris,
I had to disguise it with the cheese. Yeah.
pull from the top.
I was joking. I'm trying to be funny. God, man. Take everything so serious.
Well, like,
Yeah, I made that face.
yeah, but you should both understand, both of you. Like, you should just both know both what's going on. You should both know that, oh, he's not serious, and oh, yeah, she's gonna be hurt no matter what I say if I say something. So.
I'm sensible, but I get funny. I get it. You still should pull your crackers from the top.
Or just got there quick, like I did. I got all mine right off the bat.
Well, he kept trying to pull the stuff off the plate before I was finished with the plate. Yeah. And so
I
I
was
made him
irritating
wait.
her right off the bat already.
Mm-hmm. He was like a dog begging in the kitchen, you know? You ladies know what I'm talking about.
Hey, put food
That's
in
what
front
the
of
holidays
you.
are all about.
Gotta eat it.
Yeah.
Food is meant to be eaten.
All right. I gotta go to the bathroom.
All right. Go to songs.
Yeah.
Humanism, feminism, atheism, there is no judgment.
and a chair. I will beat the cynicism back from all of the latest trends. Spin class and an avocado mask, fortified with Zen, Peruvian incense. Oh, my tarot reading from a third wave hippie brat, peddling crystal witchcraft nonsense, and all of the mindfulness is a Trojan horse for your solipsism. You're drowning in so many isms, man. No sadness and no sickness, and the cold happiness. It's a beautiful cage for the credulous, in a prison for the privileged. Get out of your head, kid, said the old man who looked a lot like me, holding the scruff of my neck, lying there on his deathbed. He said, you're so obsessed with instant gratification, you're an easy mark for craving interest. But that couldn't matter less. Won't you let your poor heart break again and again? That's when you're most human. No sadness and no sickness, cold happiness. It's newfangled providence and a more solution if you're bored and restless. It's a beautiful cage for the credulous, in a prison for the
And we're back.
Yep.
Yeah!
Woo!
Wow, that was
Oh,
loud.
that was really loud.
Jeez, man. The
What?
headphones are really loud.
Did you
That
yell
feels
that?
like really
Well,
loud.
you just yelled at
I
yourself.
bet you that peaked out on that.
I didn't think it was that loud.
Well, it was loud in my head, and it broke up. So,
Oh, you yelling?
yep.
Your thing?
Yep.
Is that right?
Yep.
I even turned you down because you were a little loud last night. See, here's the thing. Like,
Yeah.
when you do speak into the mic, you're very loud and clear, but usually you don't.
Yeah. Well, that's why I kind of angled this differently, and I'm kind of looking around
That's horrible.
and talking.
It's
But
horrible.
I'm talking at the same time, so I'm seeing that the volume level isn't changing that drastically because of how loud it is.
You're not right. Like if you were to like be working with the sound waves, you would say, "Oh fuck," like.
All right, so this is sounding really weird now, right? I do this thing.
I have to go through often sentence by sentence of you, and this part of the sentence, this has to go up like 10 decibels. This has to go up 4.
Oh, shit.
The whole thing has to go up 2 now because now it's even. Like, it's just that drastically.
Well, that
uneven.
past 15 seconds is really going to piss you
Like,
off when you listen to that.
I can look at the wave and I can say, okay, Chris is talking there, and there. I'm sure of it, and 9 times out of 10 I'm right because you're just a bead. It's just a bead. It's like everyone else is like almost peaking, but not. Like,
Well, yeah, but a lot of those times I wasn't wearing headphones, so I wasn't
I
paying
don't think the
attention to
headphones
that.
actually help.
I think they do to me.
I think that, like, honestly, because when I was going back last week and listening to you test, when you put the headphones on to test, and you started talking immediately quiet because you could hear yourself so well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But then I took them off.
And you're not listening to me.
Oh.
You heard yourself so well that you immediately started talking quieter because you could hear yourself so well.
Uh-huh.
You didn't have to talk loud anymore, and so you stopped talking loud because you could hear yourself.
Okay.
And otherwise, you talk normally. You actually talk normal without the headphones on. But if you hear yourself, then you're like, "Oh, I'm so loud," but you're not. You're not that loud.
Well, am I loud now?
No.
Am I normal now?
No, you're talking quiet now.
I'm talking quiet now.
Yeah.
All right, so I just stopped wearing headphones.
You do naturally talk a little louder. That's what I'm trying to say. Just a little louder.
Gotcha.
Now, sometimes you are quiet. You're a quiet person. You're not loud like me. I'm loud. But like you can also be like, and I'm not being critical of you.
Oh, I know.
Just like also just filling time so we can fill out this
Oh,
section
I know.
before we go. But Ashley's got to pee, so we do got to wind up the show and get out of here.
You should see her eyes are floating. It's just weirdest thing.
She hates us both right now. These guys won't shut
Well,
up.
like I said too, I'm kind of loopy. I had to take some sleeping, ibuprofen sleeping stuff. So like I'm just in and out in waves.
She's on drugs.
And then like pot makes you tired too. So it's like I'm feeling it.
You showed no sign. You've
I'm
been
like just chilling.
It's been a great show. Thought it was great. It is a great show. We thank you all for listening, tuning in, and sharing the show and all the stuff that you do. We appreciate you. And
thank you.
Support local music.
Yes.
Click on the links below.
Yep.
We have extensive links below, and there are descriptions of the podcast or the video that you can always find and follow to all these bands or where they are, what they might have that we might know of.
Buy their merch.
Do that. Their music.
Buy their
share
CDs.
music.
Buy their stickers. Buy their coasters. Their underwear. Their posters. Their vinyl records.
Yep.
Buy it all.
Yes.
And then tell friends about how cool they are.
Uh-huh. Get all excited for when music comes back, and you can go
Yes.
and support live music and write some songs and share those with people. All right. That's good.
Right on.
Thanks.
Bye.
Goodbye.
did not want to see myself. There's nothing I could do. I did not want you to see me either, but you have seen me too, and now you know it's all the same. Walking back from my house, I'm walking home. Where is my baby Jesus? Where is my Holy Ghost? I wanna know. It's all the same. All the same. We are. Truth is coming to me this time. I swear by God the proof is coming to me this time. I swear to God the truth is coming to me this time. I swear by God the proof is coming to me this time. I did not want to see myself. Nothing I could do. I did not want you to see me either, but you have seen me too, and now you know.
Everybody knows everything. Everybody knows everything. Everybody knows everything. Who are you? Not my mama. Who are you to tell me what? Who are you? Not my brother. My puppets. Who are you? Not my mama. Who are you to tell me what? Who are you? Not my brother. My puppets. Everybody knows everything. Everybody knows everything.
stayed true to the chain. Now I'm icy as hell. Listen. Yeah. Yeah. Look. Hold up. What you talking about, nigga? Just in case you ain't know, this the walk around, nigga. D dot, no space, keep it tight with my hitters. Big dub, enough height, don't make me jump off this pillar. Heard you chirping in the corner, I be paying attention. Hope you never bring it at me, it'll cost for a mention. Yeah, flow coated in Gibsons in the middle November. Already caught all the symptoms, and I don't think that you caught it, so let me say it much simpler. Blanco in the building, better hide how you feeling. No words get traded, exchange them things like I'm Tiller. Throw some shoe in the J, they never knew I was Dilla. Beat them down like Muhammad, all I need is a reason. And y'all ain't talking about nothing, need to develop your thesis. All my women conceited, you line up looking receded. She left you sitting on babies while other niggas competing. Disrespect is mutual and the kid too nasty. No cosign over that, no tangent. Fell from the hill, the east side where I landed. Whoop-de-whoop out the Hondas, riding dirty, what's happening? In this matchup, you lose to the life like it just hit 5. You rolling down the 5, trying to make it through 5. But my dogs no fight, no bark, all bite. Stash the K's and the 9s, they were ready to eat. Packed them in the 16s, catch your ass while you sleep. Check the chain of commands for those words, leave your teeth, no chances. Code set in stone next to the 10 Commandments. Listen, hold your own, don't move alone, keep it with you. Don't let it show, if they run up, keep it simple. Don't be lying, you'll get caught up in that action. If they ask you better, let them know it's happening better. Hold your own, don't move alone, keep it with you. Don't let it show, if they run up, keep it simple. Don't be lying, you'll get caught up in that action. If they ask you better, let them know it's happening better. I stopped dreaming, the prophecies made it obvious. Moses in the middle, I rock the wave like it's Nautica. Tell them to swim good, but we fry them up like tilapia. No more being easy, too many niggas is flopping, and that shit won't slide with me though. Stay to the script, Tarantino, no Carino. I only got love for my people, outsiders ain't faithful. Trust always been lethal, concrete in the keyhole, keep your game on lock. Weave like a needle, the moves just won't stop. Young bucks get dropped, same team never swap. I keep that shit on G, units stay on top, that's guaranteed. Follow up and prevail, no way it can fail. Impala whip like Chevelle, never leaving the trail. Duracells for the scale, stay true to the chain. Now I'm icy as hell, gotta hold your own, don't move alone, keep it with you. Can't let it show, if they run up, keep it simple. Don't be lying, you'll get caught up in that action. If they ask, just let them know it's happening. Hold your own, don't move alone, keep it with you. Can't let it show, if they run up, keep it simple. Don't be lying, you'll get caught up in that action. If they ask, just let them know it's happening. Like, yeah. If they run up, just let them know it's happening. Yeah, just let them know it's happening.